A huge number of cozy games are coming to Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. Whether you're into farming, building, puzzles, or just vibing in a cute world, there's something here for everyone. Let's get into it. Wylde and Chill. From the same team behind Cast and Chill, Wylde and Chill takes things off the water and drops you deep into the Canadian and Alaskan backcountry. You're out there hunting, fishing, foraging, trapping, crafting, and building your own cabin from scratch. The whole thing moves at your pace. No pressure, no timers, just you and the wilderness. You can play solo or bring up to 3 friends in online co-op, which honestly sounds like the perfect couch co-op or weekend hangout game. The idea is you keep your belly full, your fire going, and try not to let the wolves into camp. It's survival, but the chill version of it. No punishing mechanics, just a slow and steady outdoor life sim. Think of it like a wilderness escape, where building a leaky lean-to is a valid win for the day. Momento is one of those games that hits differently. You start as a child in your bedroom, choosing which toys to keep, and those choices ripple forward through your entire life. It's a cozy room decorator with a twist. The objects you hold onto shape the paths your character takes, leading to wildly different life stories that unfold from childhood into adulthood. You can click around the world, turn on lights, leaf through books, pet animals, and just exist in these beautifully crafted spaces. There's a story mode for the emotional journey and a creative mode if you just want to decorate with no strings attached. It's made by 3 parents from Brisbane, Australia, and that warmth comes through in every detail. Short play sessions, big emotional payoff. This one's a quiet gem. Everbloom is a cozy open-world farming and social sim set in a world where the rules of agriculture don't apply. You can grow literal buckets of popcorn right on the stalk, or feed cows candy bars to get chocolate milk. The whole setup is delightfully weird and charming. You're new in town, and your mission is to track down lost heirloom flavors and bring taste back to a community of quirky townsfolk who've never known what good food feels like. You farm, build, fish, cook, breed unique flowers, and get to know a cast of characters with their own secrets. Best of all, you can do all of this solo or in online co-op with up to 4 players. The whole homestead is yours to design from scratch. Everbloom is heading to Switch 2 in spring 2027, and it's already one of the most wishlisted farming games out there. Orbitals isn't your typical cozy game, but it absolutely belongs here. Picture a 2-player co-op adventure dripping in retro anime style. Think Cowboy Bebop and Sailor Moon mashed together. You and a friend play as Maki and Omura, 2 space explorers with more determination than experience, trying to save their crumbling station home from a supernatural cosmic storm. The gameplay is asymmetric, meaning you and your partner have different tools and abilities that you have to use together to solve puzzles and navigate the world. One player might be manipulating gravity wells while the other swings through obstacles. It's built by a team that worked on It Takes Two and Split Fiction, so the co-op DNA is rock solid. The game uses Switch 2's Game Share, so only one person needs to buy it. Drop-dead gorgeous cutscenes from the anime studio behind Lycoris Recoil seal the deal. Lou's Lagoon. Your Uncle Lou has vanished without a trace, leaving you in charge of his seaplane delivery service across the Limbo Archipelago. So naturally, you strap in, fire up the plane, and start making deliveries between tropical islands while unraveling what happened to him. The core loop is flying between islands, collecting resources with your trusty Swirler 2000 vacuum tool, crafting items, and delivering goods to island communities. Your seaplane isn't just transport. You upgrade it over time, unlock new skins, and use it to reach farther corners of the map. There are aerial minigames like races and ring courses, and the whole map is hiding ancient secrets and clues about Lou's disappearance. The story reportedly has 13 different endings, depending on choices you make. It's a proper open-world, cozy adventure with a mystery thread running through it. Littlelands starts with a simple errand. Fix a broken computer at your grandma's house. But that kicks off an adventure way bigger than expected. You're this big-headed little character, wandering a region full of quirky characters, magical landscapes, and secrets around every corner. The game lets you farm berries, dig for buried treasure, fish, catch bugs, craft meals, and explore dungeons with combat against goblins, skeletons, and bats. There's a sword and bow for fighting, but you can also just ignore that and spend your day on a wooden bench watching the sunset. The NPC cast is full of weird, lovable personalities who send you on quests and teach you skills. Fans are comparing it to a mix of Pokemon's route design, Zelda's exploration, and Animal Crossing's social loop. No specific date yet, but it's coming to Switch 2 in 2026.
The Dragon Quest Monster series is back with its 4th mainline entry, and it's dropping December 3rd in time for the holidays. You follow Bianca and Nira, younger versions of beloved DQ5 characters, as they set off on an adventure through a mysterious, withered land. The gameplay is classic Monster Collection. You recruit creatures from the Dragon Quest universe, level them up, teach them talents, and then fuse 2 monsters together through synthesis to create brand new, sometimes never-before-seen creatures. Building your party is the heart of the whole thing. Over 500 monsters confirmed, plus 4 DLC packs planned post-launch. Turn-based battles sit at the core, and the strategic depth of monster synergy and synthesis makes it endlessly tweakable. It's the same warm, wholesome DQ energy, wrapped in a creature collection RPG that fans of the series have been craving for years. Go Town.
You're the new mayor of a rundown town that nobody wanted, and your job is to turn it into a tourist destination people actually care about. Go Town is a town building and automation sim where you're not just placing buildings, you're physically running around managing workers, stocking shops, laying down streets, and setting up logistics chains. When mayoral duties get too much, you can go fishing, race go-karts, or high-five a cow. The game launched in early access on PC back in 2024 and has over 2,000 reviews at 94% very positive. The full 1.0 release on Switch comes packed with expanded tourism systems, including dinosaur and alien visitors, cliff terraforming, fast travel, and online co-op for up to 2 Switch players or 4 on Steam. It's chaotic, creative, and genuinely funny. One of the most polished cozy builders heading to Switch this year. Moonlight Peaks. You're a young vampire stepping out from Count Dracula's shadow to build your own life in a magical mountain town. Moonlight Peaks is a gothic life sim where you restore a forgotten family farm by moonlight, grow enchanted crops, raise mystical livestock, brew potions, fish, and learn witchcraft spells that help with farming. The town is full of werewolves, witches, mermaids, and over 24 romanceable characters. And uncovering the secrets of the 7 families who live there is the long-running narrative thread. You can even turn your spouse into a vampire. You gain vampire powers over time. Shapeshifting opens up new areas of town, and different abilities unlock as you master the dark arts. Just make sure you're back in your coffin before sunrise. A free demo is already available on Switch and Steam, and the game releases July 7th for Switch, Switch 2, PC, and Android.
Spyro, A Realm Beyond. The little purple dragon is back after almost 20 years, and this time he's got actual free flight. Spyro, A Realm Beyond is developed by Toys for Bob, the studio behind the beloved Reignited trilogy, and it's a brand new, completely original Spyro adventure. The story drops Spyro in a strange new world where he's stranded, and just as he's figuring out how to get home, an invading force called the Scavs shows up and threatens everything. Now he has to make new allies and protect this realm. The gameplay looks more open than classic Spyro, with true dragon flight, not just gliding where you chain together dives, climbs, and tight turns to navigate vibrant landscapes. Tom Kenny is back as the voice of Spyro. The visual style pulls from the pastel fantasy of the original Insomniac trilogy while evolving it into something fresh. Spring 2027 on Switch 2. Fields of Mistria is already one of the most beloved farming RPGs of the past few years, and it's finally hitting 1.0 on August 5th, 2026. Set in the village of Mistria, which is recovering from an earthquake and the strange return of ancient magic, you move in, take over a farm, and start rebuilding the community while uncovering the town's magical past. The game pulls heavy inspiration from Harvest Moon, Rune Factory, and Stardew Valley, but carves out its own identity through gorgeous pixel art, a cast of 30-plus fully fleshed-out characters, a skill system with 9 different trees, and a dungeons and combat layer tied to the mine's storyline. The 1.0 update brings marriage, children, a giant chicken mount, and the conclusion to the town repair questline. The console port hasn't been officially confirmed yet, but Switch versions have been expected. Farming Camp tells the story of Alessandra, a driven teenage girl who joins Evertree Farming Camp with one goal: win the title of Evertree Farmer. What starts as a straightforward competition slowly becomes a story about friendship, identity, and what it actually means to belong somewhere. Each day at camp has you tackling chores, farming, fishing, caring for animals, and building relationships with a cast of teenage characters who all have their own personalities and storylines. The social dynamics matter. The friendships you build and the choices you make shape how the competition plays out. Visual novel-style dialogue runs alongside the management mechanics, giving it a strong narrative backbone.
The whole thing clocks in at around 15 to 20 hours. It's a charming, coming-of-age farming story that's a little different from the usual open-ended cozy formula. Moss, the Forgotten Relic. Originally a celebrated PlayStation VR exclusive, Moss and its sequel are now reimagined from the ground up as a non-VR adventure for Switch, Switch 2, and other platforms launching July 16th. You guide Quill, a brave little mouse, through a fallen kingdom slowly being reclaimed by nature. The world is presented as a living storybook filled with myth and ancient magic, and you solve handcrafted, diorama-like environmental puzzles while helping Quill navigate towering dangers and arcane threats. The Forgotten Relic combines both Moss games into one complete, definitive package, enhanced and rebuilt for the platform. There's an optional skip combat accessibility feature for players who just want the puzzles and story without the enemy encounters. Jason Graves composed the orchestral soundtrack across both original games, and it's stunning. Hela of Mice and Magic. You play as a tiny mouse, the familiar of a kind witch who's fallen ill, and your job is to explore a vast, handcrafted world inspired by the landscapes of northern Sweden. Gather magical ingredients, brew potions, and help the local village folk while your witch slowly recovers. There's zero combat. If hostile wildlife gets in your way, you try to befriend them or sneak past. One example shown has you using a grappling hook to hitch a ride on a magpie and tame it as a fast travel companion. The world is built around exploration and kindness, with physics-based puzzles woven into the environment. You can play solo using a shade system that summons magical echoes to help with co-op puzzles, or jump in with up to 4 players locally or online. The music, composed by the duo behind Unravel's score, breathes life into every corner. On the surface, Village in the Shade is a gorgeous, hand-painted Japanese farming sim set in the mountain village of Kagatsu. You plant crops, raise livestock, fish, attend seasonal festivals like cherry blossom viewings, decorate your home, and befriend the locals. It all looks idyllic. But the village has rules. Don't talk to strangers, don't leave the village, and whatever you do, don't go out at night. The game lays a creeping layer of unease over the cozy routine, pulling from Japanese horror and yokai mythology in a way that feels genuinely unsettling rather than cheap. From Nippon Ichi Software, the team behind Disgaea and Phantom Brave, this is cozy horror done with craft. The Japanese release hits July 30th, and the Western version follows in fall 2026 on Switch, Switch 2, PS5, and PC. One Piece finally gets the cozy game it deserves. Grand Gourmet is a restaurant management sim developed by Kairosoft, the legendary studio behind Game Dev Story, and published by Bandai Namco. You play as a new recruit joining the Straw Hat crew aboard the Baratier No. 2, a floating restaurant that you build from a humble ship into the finest dining destination on the seas. Work alongside Sanji to gather ingredients, develop recipes, and create set menus. Over 400 One Piece characters appear in a brand new pixel art style, and many of them can work in your restaurant or show up as customers. Devil Fruit users can use their powers to assist with cooking. It's wonderfully on brand. The customization is deep, with over 200 unique furniture pieces for your restaurant. Kairosoft's tight management loop, paired with One Piece's cast, is genuinely a dream combo. Woodo is a cozy 3D puzzle game built around wooden diorama assembly. You place objects into scenes, piece by piece, and as each object clicks into place with a satisfying tactile sensation, the scene fills with color and comes to life. You're following Foxy, a city girl spending the summer in a remote countryside village with her distant relative Ben the Frog, and the story unfolds through a series of interconnected dioramas capturing their shared adventure. The whole thing is narrated by Laurence Olivier Award winner Miriam Teak Lee, giving it a storybook quality that feels genuinely special. On Switch 2, the game supports mouse controls with the Joy-Con, making the puzzle interaction even more intuitive. It's launching summer 2026 on Switch and Switch 2, and there's already a demo on Steam. From the makers of Parkitect comes Croakwood, a cozy and creative town-building sim about a community of frogs settling into the wild woods. You design and build structures, plan and decorate the town layout, and explore an ancient forest filled with secrets while guiding your little amphibian community as it grows. The frogs have their own lives and goals, and the AI driving them is genuinely smart. They develop action plans to reach their goals, which means they sometimes find solutions the developers didn't even expect. The attention to detail in how the frogs interact with the spaces you create is impressive. Croakwood enters early access in winter 2026 on PC, with the Switch version still to be confirmed, but given the game's perfect fit for handheld play, it seems like a natural next step. Hokko Spaces. If you loved Hokko Life, or even just love the idea of setting up a perfect miniature scene and watching cute animal characters wander through it, Hokko Spaces is your game. It's a sandbox diorama building experience from the same developer behind Hokko Life, Robert Tatnell at Wonderscope Games, published again by Team 17. You place over 300 decorative items, campfires, benches, planters, flowers, fences, across 5 different block types, like grass, stone, and sand. As your spaces grow, Hokko residents appear and start interacting with the world you've created, gardening, chatting, and just living in it. There are 4 seasons and multiple weather options to set the mood. A photo mode lets you capture your creations and share them. No release date beyond 2026 just yet, but a Steam playtest is already live, so you can try it now. Wylde Society is the prequel to Wild Flowers. Set in the town of Fairhaven at the turn of the 20th century, you step into the elegant heels of Vivian Wylde, a witch, socialite, and host, and run a magical boarding house in a beautifully realized period drama setting. You renovate and expand the boarding house, invite tenants, host grand balls and tea parties, play matchmaker to the townsfolk, and conduct seances to help spirits resolve unfinished business. Player choices shape the gossip, drama, and social dynamics of the whole island community. Studio Drydock confirmed PC as the launch platform, with console versions including Switch still to be announced. But given Wild Flowers' success on Switch, it seems likely. No release date yet, but this one is firmly on the radar for cozy game fans. TOEM 2 is the sequel to the BAFTA-winning photography adventure game, and it's coming to Switch this summer. You strap on your sneakers, pick up your upgraded camera, and head out on a new journey to document the world's hidden wonders, mysterious phenomena called tomes. The sequel expands the original's formula significantly. The world is now fully 3D, you can run, jump, and climb, and the camera comes with new attachments that let you interact with the environment in different ways to solve problems. You fill a journal with stamps by completing quests and documenting discoveries, using them as tickets to reach new regions. The cast of quirky characters and adorable critters keeps things personal and funny throughout. There are no time limits, no hard requirements. Sit on a bench, listen to music, take it slow. Froggy Brews is a 2D hand-drawn narrative adventure where you play as a tea-loving frog named Froggy, returning to your old neighborhood of Bloomville to find it changed in your absence. The core loop is brewing the right tea blends for the villagers you meet, and different blends unlock different conversations, emotions, and fragments of Froggy's own past. Some tea blends reveal memories, others help you connect with characters going through difficult moments. The story is really about rediscovering your place in a community that moved on without you. You forage for resources, explore the world, and build up your cafe over time. A new demo dropped at the Wholesome Direct 2026 with expanded brewing and decoration systems. No exact release date yet, but it's coming to Switch, Switch 2, PS5, and Xbox. My Time at Evershine is the 3rd game in the beloved My Time series from Pythia Games, following Portia and Sandrock. This time, you're not just a builder, you're the governor of a brand new frontier settlement called Evershine, recruited to establish a city-state near the border of 2 warring factions. You build infrastructure, recruit settlers, tame the surrounding wilderness, and grow your town from nothing into a thriving community. The game has a more realistic art style than its predecessors, deeper 4-player online co-op where multiple players can run quests, build together, and even share romantic moments. And an expanded open world with gliding and climbing. Romance is back, dungeon exploration returns, and the whole thing takes place 3 years after the events of Sandrock and Portia. It was originally planned for 2026, but has been pushed to 2027 on Switch 2. The Witch's Bakery puts you in the flower-dusted shoes of Loon, a joyful witch who's just arrived in modern-day Paris to open her own bakery. She has a rare gift. She can literally see into people's hearts and heal their emotions through her baking. Each day is split into 3 phases. Daytime, managing the bakery and serving customers with your team. Evening, exploring Paris, building relationships, and going inside your friends' troubled hearts in a magical space called the Heart Palace. And nighttime, resting, improving your magic, and decorating your cozy atelier. Inside the Heart Palace, you solve puzzles and guide personified emotions back where they belong, discovering what ingredient Loon needs to bake a bread that can heal that person. Starsand Island is a life simulation game that dropped into early access on PC and Xbox back in February 2026, and the full release, including Nintendo Switch 2, is coming this summer. You return to Starsand, your childhood island paradise, and start building your dream life from scratch. Farm, fish, craft, raise capybaras, cats, and dogs, explore the mysterious moonlit forest, and uncover ancient ruins and hidden secrets scattered across the island. The game has over 40 unique NPCs, a friendship and romance system, nearly 100 crops, 4 seasons, and a full homestead customization system with hundreds of furniture pieces. You can also get around on scooters, boats, and boards to explore neighboring islands. There's a collaboration event with My Time at Portia already confirmed, which is a fun nod to fans of that series.
Deer and Boy is already out. It landed June 23rd, and if you missed it, do yourself a favor. There is zero dialogue in this entire game. The whole story is told through visuals and music alone, following a runaway boy who gets lost and stumbles across a frightened fawn. They quickly realize they need each other, and as they travel together, the fawn grows into a full-size deer, and your gameplay evolves with it. In the early chapters, you protect the fragile fawn. By the later ones, you're working as equals with new shared abilities. The game is 13 chapters across distinct natural biomes, and it plays like an animated film you can control. The emotional beats hit hard, without a single word spoken. Young players see a story about friendship. Older players might see something deeper, about healing and finding strength in others. Hello Kitty Partyland, launching on October 29th, 2026. The game features over 45 minigames and board game challenges, letting up to 4 players compete or cooperate, both locally and online. You can create your own customizable avatar with new outfits, hairstyles, and accessories while exploring a charming town filled with more than 145 beloved Sanrio characters, including Hello Kitty, Kuromi, My Melody, Cinema Roll, and Pom Pom Purin. Beyond the party modes, you'll collect stickers, go fishing, unlock cosmetics, and interact with familiar faces as you progress. With simple controls, cheerful visuals, and plenty of activities to enjoy between minigames, Hello Kitty Partyland looks like a cozy, wholesome experience that's easy to pick up and perfect for players of all ages. Cozy Grove Camp Spirit is the sequel to the original Cozy Grove, and it finally comes to Switch and Switch 2 on July 15th, after already being out on mobile since 2024. Your bus crashes on a mysterious island, and you're stranded alone, surrounded by cute, ghostly spirit bears who need your help to remember their pasts and find peace. You set up your campsite, craft furniture, decorate the island, fish, cook, garden, and slowly restore color and life to this spooky but adorable place. A new mechanic lets you leave gifts for friends asynchronously, a gentle nod to social play without needing real-time co-op. New spirit bears, new animal companions you can pet, dogs, seasonal events, and a snail friend who helps carry your gear are among the additions. The Switch 2 version runs at 4K docked and 1080p handheld with improved frame rates. The watercolor art style is as charming as ever. Witchbrook. You play a witch enrolling at Witchbrook College in the vibrant seaside city of Mossport. Classes, broom flights, friendships, romance, seasonal changes, and a beautifully detailed open world inspired by cities like Cambridge and Dordogne all blend into a living, breathing life sim. The relationship system is driven by a custom algorithm that makes friendships and romance feel genuinely dynamic. You can race on brooms, cast spells, brew potions, solve magical mysteries, and share the whole adventure with up to 4 players online. A June 2026 dev blog gave the best look yet at actual day-to-day gameplay. The studio behind Stardew Valley's original publishing deal, making their own cozy life sim, is a big deal. And from everything shown, Witchbrook looks like it's worth the wait. Grave Seasons. You're an escaped convict who's fled to the idyllic town of Ashenridge to start a new farming life. You grow crops, fish, mine, and sell your goods around town just like any other farming sim. But then, the murders start. Someone in Ashenridge is a supernatural serial killer, and as the new face in town with a suspicious past, you're right in the middle of it. The crops you grow actually factor into the investigation. Certain harvests unlock story paths. Every friendship you build, every quest you complete, every relationship you invest in changes how the story plays out and who you can trust. You can even romance the killer. Published by Blumhouse Games, the horror production company, Grave Seasons earns every bit of its horror pedigree while delivering a genuinely solid farming sim underneath the dread. Out August 14th on Switch, PS5, Xbox, and PC. That's your top 30 upcoming cozy games for Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. There is genuinely so much to look forward to this year and into 2027. Drop a comment with whichever game you're most hyped for, and subscribe so you don't miss any of the coverage coming for these. See you next time.